me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Listen here, this is a fact of life. I be rapping like Nat Turner came back to life. Grab Donald Trump by the pussy, he ain't acting right. I never run from a conflict, I be glad to fight. It's a very cold world that we living in. Somebody please tell Elizabeth you're not an Indian. You just trying to con them people to get the benefit. Just another immigrant, stealing from the Indians. That's some punk ass shit and that's too lame. Now we finna step over to Andrew Yang. And you a sucker, you can never speak for black folks. Fake ass candidates, trying to get the black vote. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You know your boy be high off sativa. Kamala wasn't popping, so we said bye, Felicia. She ain't had a right policy. We ain't trying to meet her. Y'all can take Biden too. Bye. We don't need her. We don't need Roland Martin or that coon Al Sharpton. Didn't need Cory Booker from the start, man. I don't fuck with police and no snitch. You know I'm coming with the heat when I spit it. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. If you ever go to court and this is your luck, try not to get fucked by Benjamin Crump. I know it's hard. You and all go is hard. But who the fuck is Amy Cloak? Put her picture up on the bullseye and start throwing darts. People cut our organs out our bodies, that's a stolen heart. They can't save us from the flood like Noah's Ark. Black lives always matter, we finna go for ours. So then we savages, we don't need to pot the piss. Mike Bloomberg can suck dick with that stop and frisk, bitch. You ain't speaking for us, we don't know you. Bernie Sanders, they get your funky ass on too. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me.
I'm talking about Shouty going crazy. People going crazy in them motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it means nothing. Nothing. Without a woman on the bed. Man made the car. Carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water like the 7-millimeter. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. Make them happy because man make them dark. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money to buy from other men? This is a man's world.
Yes, good evening, Black family. Good evening. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Frontline Black News. I'm your host, Chain Crump. I'm joined with my other host, Lady Shay. She wakes up. I think she's asleep right now. And our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka Sankori. Shabaka's Black Experience in Hands, who was just in the studio. She should be popping back to try to crumb bomb on my Broncos, but still Bronco country over here, and we still gonna be repping regardless. But either way, on tonight's show, season 3, episode 38, Trey 8, we'll be discussing the topics we didn't get to discuss last night in part 1. By the way, YouTube is seriously shadow banning us and trying to block our content. Currently, the Frontline Black News YouTube channel is under a strike. So the strike is supposed to end tomorrow. So hopefully after tomorrow, we'll be streaming back on Frontline Black News YouTube page. But we are streaming on the Facebook page. So it's still getting out there. And then we're on several other platforms, as you can see, in conjunction with the Arena Uncensored. Shout out to Black Sun. MD, Politics for Blacks, Lady Che, of course, The Revolutionary Agenda, my personal page, and MD's page. So our message is still getting out, and there is our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka. Greetings, Shabaka, from the Mile High Income City. I don't want to hear it, Shabaka. I don't even want to root.
Great news. Great news. Great news. The ponies lose. Now, if we can only get past the Chiefs tomorrow or the Queens, and that's an uphill battle. And then we need you guys to stay in the barn. Need the Chiefs to lose their next two. San Diego, nobody's worried about. And we might fuck around, man, and get to the playoffs, man.
Wishing upon a star. Is that your Christmas wish? Since Christmas is and like
well, I got a good mind, man, to go check the odds down here at the casino, man. If it's something like 100 to 1, I'll take it. Put $20, that'll bring $2,000. You know what I'm saying? But it got to be 100 to 1 odds. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't looked at it. Assuming y'all are major underdogs, so I don't see y'all winning tomorrow. But unfortunately, I never thought I would say that. I never thought I would have to root for a Raider. Oh my God.
Well, I shared the link over there with Dynamite, man. So hopefully, some of the crew will come in and whatnot. And what we're doing with Shabaka's Black Experience, a deacon of reality, is that, yes, sir. Thank you 100%. Okay, man. So we're going to try to get some legal action going on against them bastards over there, man, at that damn Blog Talk. And to pull away from it, man. Yeah, Frontline Black News for all the crews. And so because something, okay, and also too, Brother Parents. Yeah.
I was in the intro when you hopped on.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, okay. Yeah, I see I'm 8 minutes late. Yeah.
On season 3, episode 38, or Trey 8, part 2 of the Frontline Black News, we'll be discussing federal retrial looms for former Louisville cop Brett Hankison and Breonna Taylor raid case. Good news, great news. Approval ratings hit 40-year low as majority of the Americans expressed concerns about the economy. Republicans.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get worse.
Republicans threatened to remove Joe Biden from Ballot and state control. And then we got attorney Ben Crump. Oh my God. Exposes Navy Federal Credit Union for discrimination lawsuit. Then we got Taraji P. Henson received support for her emotional remarks on pay inequalities for Black actresses. And then
fuck Hollywood. Yeah.
Last but certainly not least, our unhoused neighbor news and unhoused neighbor sweeps. Homelessness is at an all-time high, and Black Americans are once again the most affected population.
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. And it's going to get worse in Los Angeles. Okay, first of all, for the homelessness high amongst us, notice that the cities where they're high at have black mayors. So these black mayors ain't shit. Fuck all of them in the ass. You know what I'm saying? I know because that's all they bending over, man. Damn black ass mayors. That fool in Chicago, that Negro there in New York bending over, getting fucked up his ass by these migrants, man, and spitting on his own people, man.
I
Fuck
know,
them.
I know it's horrible stuff.
And that's very, and it's very, very disheartening. Getting a serious business right now. It's very disheartening, for those who made the ultimate sacrifice during civil rights and the black empowerment era, to see this travesty, where, as you so well put it, is that they put us in these marginal terms, people of color, you know what I'm saying? That type of shit. And they want us to embrace this all inclusion of illusion. And I got suspended on Facebook for 3 days, you know what I'm saying? For posting the truth once again, so I cannot post into any groups, people. So feel free to post off, some positive into our groups, that me and Brother Che run and what have you. Also to be aware of the hack attack, okay, it's because they're hacking us as well too. And so what I got to do is go get my old computer, man, and I got to go update the drives on it, man, and put some firewalls in it, And then the newest computer I got, I got to unplug him until this hacking business is over, because they hate the truth. Blog Talk, you're full of shit, okay? And it's because you targeting certain groups. Okay, there's been some developments on it. Okay, and Brother Dynamite, he had, did a live feed. Since New Black Power Radio is going through the same situation that we are with Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, okay, to get to Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, we're in the process of rebuilding it up on another platform until we get this blog talk situation taken care of. Okay, I believe the hater, Pianki, I think he might have his hand in it, but that is just a hunch, because Bianchi is a hater. He hates me, but I really feel sorry for Bianchi, is because Bianchi hates himself.
Yeah, I wouldn't put none
So,
past.
man, you got to lose that hat, man.
Remember that I'm a rep to the death.
Man, they got you ought to wear a cowboy hat showing that they in the barn. Oh, that's more great news. More great news. Later for the cowgirls, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, can't stand them cowgirls, you know what I mean? And then also too, and I think Washington lost as well too, and we want to see Washington lose every fucking game that they play because of the racial remarks that owner made about black athletes. You see what I mean? And all men folk love the human drama of athletic competition. You know what I'm saying? And what have you. But what it is, though, is that the black male is really hated. And he is hated in the American ethos. It's because he is feared. So they're in fear of him awakening. You see what I'm saying? And to quote the words of Admiral Yamamoto, who led the attack on Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. as he addressed to, his troops or his sailors or the people under his command, saying, yeah, you guys did a great job there bombing Pearl Harbor. But guess what? We have awakened a sleeping giant. And that's what we have to be, Black family. It's the sleeping giant, not so much in the U.S., but throughout the whole diaspora. Puke tube, which is the new term for them, puke tube. Okay, Brother Paris, because I communicated with you earlier, and you had told me that they had tore down the YouTubes. So I'm gonna try to make contact with an attorney, man, because see, they have to be sued in San Mateo court. Okay, as you know, Blog Talk has to be sued in the state of Texas, and Zuckerberg has to be sued in Santa Clara County. It says because this shit is getting ridiculous, man. And Blog Talk, you cannot speak to a live person. All they got is artificial intelligence who is telling us prepackaged bullshit. You see what I mean? But the problem is that they've taken our money. See, that's the problem. So hopefully, Dr. Bay, and more power to her. Hopefully Dr. Bay, will make it happen. And I did send them all over there, the link to join us on StreamYard. So hopefully, we'll have some more guests come in tonight.
Yeah, it's very late over there, so they're probably asleep. I don't know, because they did like a 3 hour.
Yeah, because it's after midnight where they're at, man. Yeah, because I'm at 9:47 right now. Yeah. So, and you're at 10:47. Yeah, and you're at 10:47. Yeah. And plus that we all are tired, because of not so much what we do in our personal lives, but what we're doing here with these platforms. It takes a lot of work, you know what I mean? I got notes here stacked up. And then also too, so what we're doing is, ladies and gentlemen, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced is in the process of getting over here to StreamYard, and we could have the people stream into Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, providing a course, that there's not no hacking going on. Is because we're hated people, and me personally, I like the hatred, to be honest about it, is because you all-inclusive individuals are going to get a huge wake-up call. You're going to find, Black family, is just how hated that we are in the upcoming year. So, so it'd be nice to abandon this all-inclusive agenda. Is because they're going to take us out there to the middle of that fucking Mojave Desert and put us out there and turn the fucking water off. Well, I hope I am wrong. I hope I am wrong. I hope I am wrong. But that's how I see it. And they're going to have these black-ass politicians be the Judas goats that are going to lead us to slaughter.
Yep, you're right, Shabaka. So moving along to our first topic of the night, we got
yes, sir.
Looms for former Louisville cop Brad Hankison in the Breonna Taylor raid case. The good news.
Okay. So they're going to retrial this cocksucker. Okay. Yep. Alrighty.
So Lisa Cabrera for breaking this story about a week ago. I was trying to get it on the last season 3, episode 37 of the Frontline Black News, which they temporarily taken down part 1. So the only way you can find it is on Facebook or the other platforms. Probably on the Revolutionary Agenda, you can find it as well. But going back, this bastard is the one that was responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. And when he went to trial, they charged him with shooting in the apartment next door and not with killing her. So Lisa Cabrera is going to break it down for us, what's happening with this case, this retrial. Because I believe the last one ended up in a mistrial. So
right.
just being retried again. Hopefully he'll be found convicted. I hope he's being charged with the murder of Breonna Taylor opposed to what they were charging him with initially, which was shooting into the next door apartment.
Okay.
She friends are back. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, many of you may remember that Brett Hankison, his last trial, ended up being a mistrial. So the feds have moved to retry him again as the cop who fired shots in Breonna Taylor's raid. So I'll remember old Brett Hankison. So federal prosecutors told a judge Wednesday that they intend to retry former Louisville officer Brett Hankison after a jury deadlocked last month over charges he used excessive force the night Breonna Taylor was murdered by police in 2020. A judge declared a mistrial on November 16th after a jury deliberated for several days but could not reach a unanimous decision. Hankison fired a total of 10 shots that night during the deadly raid, but did not strike anyone. His shots went into Taylor's apartment and into a neighboring unit where a child was sleeping. And y'all remember the neighbors that were right above her. Mm-hmm. So federal prosecutors, Michael Songer, he said during the status conference that the government intends to retry the case. The new trial would be the third attempt to prosecute Hankison for his actions the night of March 13th, 2020, a botched raid that left Taylor dead. He was acquitted last year on the state charges. Remember,
this is the federal.
Daniel
so
Cameron put him on trial for wanton endangerment, and it had nothing to do with Breonna Taylor, but shooting into the neighbor's apartment. And then when he was questioned on it, he said, well, the jury did not ask about Breonna Taylor. And that was because he didn't present it to the grand jury. So he tried to, he pulled a slick behind move. So anyway, the U.S. District Court Judge Rebecca Grady Jennings set a tentative date for October 2024, but noted that date could change as prosecutors were interested in retrying Hankison in the summer. So that date is not etched in stone. One of Hankison's lawyers is retiring and may choose to replace all of his counsel. This is according to lawyer Jack Bird. This is what they told the judge. So a 12-member of mostly white jury struggled to reach a verdict in Hankison's trial last month. At one point, the judge said there were elevated voices coming from the deliberation room and the court security had to be brought in. Songer urged the judge to let the jury continue to deliberate, noting the enormous resources required to retrial the case. In declaring a mistrial, Jennings said the jury members had a disagreement they could not get past. Hankison is the only officer who fired his weapon that night of the raid to be criminally charged. Prosecutors determined that 2 other officers were justified in returning fire after one was shot in the leg by Taylor's boyfriend. So, y'all, they are going after Brett Hankinson again in 2024. You know, I just find it hard to believe that Breonna Taylor is dead. And right now, not one single Louisville police officer is being held accountable in all this time. You know, 2024, she was killed nearly 4 years ago now. And they can't say, okay, these officers are responsible for her death. Right now, nobody is. And Daniel Cameron made sure no police officer would be held accountable for her death.
No, that black ass attorney general there.
The justice.
Yeah, son of a bitch. Yeah.
And I know this should not be a shock in a place called America, because this is how things are done.
Yeah. Well, I hope the motherfucker winds up being homeless, man, living in the street, man. You know what I'm saying? Standing on the side of the freeway begging for food.
And now you got a situation with Breonna Taylor, who has been gone now since March of 2020, and nobody can agree on who should go to jail. This is just unbelievable. And it's sick. And how this system works when it comes down to our people. We always got to get the raw end of the deal. And they make sure it's a continuous thing on top of that. You know, my heart goes out to Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, who had to watch his girlfriend die, and her family that have been on an undying fight against the system to get justice for her. And it's a shame. Now you're gonna wait nearly a year for a cop to be retried. Justice is not swift. They may say those words, but that's absolutely not what it is. It sure has not been swift in the case of Breonna Taylor.
Right.
Not at all. And they're going to push this thing through 2024. You still haven't even gotten to the federal trial for the other cops involved. That hasn't happened yet. So I guess everything is pushed into 2024. I mean, look at Ahmaud Arbery. You got Jackie Johnson and still don't have a court date for this woman.
Ridiculous.
You know, it's just unbelievable how slow the system works. When the victim looks like Breonna Taylor, then everything goes at a snail's crawl, right? Nobody's accountable.
Right.
It's frustrating, y'all. It really, truly is. But please
we're just
about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.
Yeah. And then and like we say out there, we don't mind nobody sharing their content on our platforms, but most definitely mention Frontline Black News in yours, okay? And we making that there plain. And then not to mention the fact too is that we trying to maintain our platform as well too. We're very informative. Shabak's Black Experience Enhanced has been around, going into season 8. Frontline Black News is going into season 3. So we got 11 years invested. Yeah. Okay. So now we at 12 years now. Yeah, that's right, because we're getting ready to flip into next year. Exactly. So like we say, we don't mind you all sharing, but be sure to mention us as well too. Now, as far as that fool who is the Attorney General of Kentucky, he lost as a governor, his race for governor, and rightfully so. Clowns like that, Eric Adams, man, Brandon Johnson, Uncle Tom Bradley of Los Angeles, Karen Bass of Los Angeles, London Bridge up there of San Francisco, Okay, this self-hatred that we have of ourselves, man, it is like a malignant cancer. And what I mean, the self-hatred of ourselves, I'm talking about on the political spectrum. All these black ass politicians is all with this all inclusive shit, and this all inclusive shit, okay, is an illusion, because what they're doing is they are excluding us, and then from what I understand, they got 80,000 more fucking migrants coming here. I got an unconfirmed report on that.
80,000, Shabaka.
80,000. They either got 80,000.
Anywhere else, that would be a full-blown invasion.
Sir, it is an invasion, even if they do it piecemeal. You know what I'm saying? Because doing the dump regime as in human shit, and we want to make that perfectly clear. These motherfuckers, man, had a caravan coming here with shirts on talking about Joe and Kamala let us in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But as Dr. Claude Anderson says, is that what this is, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing more than a military force that is going to be used against us African people of African descent. Here, okay, that's all that is going to be used as.
This is buffer classing. This is setting up a whole
exactly
to keep us from getting anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But what it is, black family, we is all we got. So I'm reaching out there and appealing, to the organizations out there. You know what I mean?
And you
got to quit killing it.
Responsible for this shit. That's who
exactly.
Y'all kept saying y'all couldn't have 4 more years of Trump. So now y'all
exactly.
Get all over your face, and we have no pity for you because we tried to warn you. We really did.
Yeah, exactly.
We warned you. We warned you on High News. We warned you on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. We warned you, and y'all just still went ahead and voted blue no matter who, and just anybody.
Yeah, and all that shit. And got to get some independent candidates in all offices, both at the federal and local level. Yes, dealing with the Black First agenda. Period.
Ballot access in all 50 states, Shabaka. That's the only thing that's really hurting the third party is they don't have ballot access in all 50 states.
Right, because a lot of the states pick their primary candidates through caucuses.
Yeah, and that's by deliberate and purpose design. They purposely want to keep this a 2-party duopoly.
Yeah, exactly. You see, and both of these motherfucking political parties are 2 sides of the same coin. Mm-hmm. Hate black people.
Yep.
Hate black people. And then when you get these Leo Terrell, Larry Elders, ass scratching Yasa bosses, you know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers is dangerous. Do you know, sir, if we was an organized nation, do you know them sons of bitches, man, would be brought up on treason?
Yep. So getting back to
that is treason.
Trailer,
yes, sir.
Situation, Shabaka. They're just delaying justice as usual. This is what they do.
Exactly.
Like Lisa Converse said, like us, that so slow. But if it was the other way around,
it'd be real swift.
Yeah. Justice.
Yeah, look what they did to George Stinney.
Oh my God, Shabaka, 14 years old.
Yeah. Look what they did to George Stinney. And they did not even have his parents in the courtroom, and he was a minor.
These motherfuckers is banging or fighting or something crazy shit.
Yeah, look what they did to George Stinney, man.
Somebody like fighting and banging in my building, like on my floor. It's either down the hall from me or it's like below me or something. But anyway, so yeah, Brett Hankison, I hope you do get tried. Get at the federal level. You need to go to prison. I hope that they charge you with killing Breonna Taylor and not that bullshit.
Right.
Them last two other times.
Yeah, and like I said, and really what it is that the feds need to step in there and pick up the case. You know what I'm saying? And you would think that your current vice president, who holds a law degree, who was a former attorney general of California, would do that. You see, you would hoping that.
She's too worried about goddamn abortion. She on a goddamn abortion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and what have you. You see, so Kamala, is no good. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of these two-party systems is. They both sides are the same coin. They don't mean us not one damn bit of good, people. And I'm just being real about that. I'm just being real about it. It's because as long as we getting killed, and then of course, the imagery that cesspool Hollywood
another prominent black actor or musician in a freaking dress, Shabaka.
No, who was it, man?
Tyrese.
Tyrese Gibson?
Mm-hmm.
The same brother that played in Baby Boy?
Yep.
They got him in a dress?
Yep. And then they had R&B singer Neo in a dress on that stupid ass show, The Masked Singer.
Oh man. Oh man. The horror.
Yeah, so that's all.
The horror.
So yeah, we pray that Breonna Taylor's family gets the justice they so rightfully deserve, and we'll keep y'all updated on upcoming trials and what the results and verdicts of them are. So moving
yes, sir. And then on Breonna Taylor too, Brother Paris, if you could pull it up off of my wall. It's been a couple of years when I was in Panthertown. And you remember the signs of all our people that died of police brutality, man, and Breonna Taylor was up there. If you still have access to that video, please share it, is because it was up there on the corner of Lakeshore and Mandana.
It has
in Oakland, California.
It has showed up a couple months ago in my memories, and I had shared it out then.
Right, yeah, because that was really sad. I mean, man, it's kind of like, they're putting it out there. Look how we executing you niggas,
Yeah, and they're still doing it. They're still doing the modern day lynchings. Still doing them. They just have the race soldiers do it now instead of the lynch mob. Shabaka? We lost Shabaka. Shout out to whoever's doing right now. I don't know what happened to Shabaka. The sound just went completely out. I don't know what just happened to Shabaka, y'all. He was there, and now he's gone. I don't know if he went on mute or what. He must have got a phone call or something. He's probably on the phone. I don't think he's on the computer. Yeah, he'll be back. Okay. Looks like he got disconnected from the studio. Okay, so yeah, it's bullshit. So moving right along, while we're waiting for Shabaka to get back in the studio. So we got Hyde and Biden, y'all president. Y'all voted for him. I didn't vote for neither one of them, but y'all voted for him because y'all kept saying anybody but Trump. We just can't have 4 more years of Trump. Oh, Trump is so bad, he's the boogeyman, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, one thing, under a Trump administration, we would not be under siege right now with these goddamn migrants. So Biden's approval ratings hit 40-year low as majority of Americans express concerns about the economy. Huh. Yeah, but you notice the price of everything has gone drastically up. Price of food, price of gas, price of everything is gone up. So y'all only have yourselves to blame for this. You Biden sexuals, you Biden supporters. We told y'all to call it Box Black Experience has for the past 4 years and tell us what tangible benefits we're going to get from a Biden administration. And as you can clearly see, we're not getting nothing tangible, but everybody else is getting tangibles, including the illegal immigrants. So I'm going to let Lisa Cabrera break it down on how dismal these approval ratings are. I believe he's down in the low 30 percentile now, like 32, 33, 34% approval rating. So it's looking really bad for the Democrats come next year if things don't drastically change soon. And I don't see it happening. So Biden's approval rate is at 40-year low. So it hasn't been this low since Reagan, pretty much. Yeah. Since Reagan's first term, the approval rates haven't been this low. So shout out to Lisa Cabrera. If you haven't liked and subscribed to her channel, you definitely should now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden got the lowest ratings of a president in the last 40 years.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, there are so many people upset with Joe Biden. They are really, really upset.
Good. But don't get
So
Biden
President
remorse
Biden
now.
will be ready
That's
to
who y'all
ring
voted
in the
for.
new year after seeing these numbers. The 81-year-old commander-in-chief ends 2023 with a lower approval rating than any of his 7 predecessors at the similar point in their first term, according to a new Gallup poll. Biden, the oldest over president, will lead into 2024 with just 39% of Americans liking his job performance, a slight increase from the 37% he received in October and November, but still below the ratings of every chief executive at the end of their 3rd year in office since Jimmy Carter was in the White House. Former President George W. Bush had the highest near-term approval rating with 58% of Americans approving of his job performance in December of 2003. Following the capture of Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein, Carter and Reagan approval ratings in December of 1979. Only Reagan secured a re-election following, the Carter administration. So, wow. Joe Biden got the worst ratings out of all the presidents, 7 presidents before him. Boy, that is lousy.
Right.
But what are they going to do about it? Because it looks like they're doing absolutely nothing. Just like they're doing absolutely nothing when it comes down to reparations.
Okay, let me bring Shabaka back in.
Oh
my God, he has the worst approval rating since Carter. It looks like he's even worse than Carter. Wow.
Yeah.
And what Shabaka, I don't know what you said they cut you out.
Yeah, just they cut us off part of the shadow band, man.
Oh my god. All right, so
Yeah, it's getting bad, you know.
I'm
It's
on to the
getting
next.
bad.
Yeah, I'm on to the next topic, Shabaka. So we're talking about hide and buy it now, and I was reintroducing the viewers to the fact that we told them, we told them so. We tried to warn you about this bastard, and y'all went ahead and voted for him anyway.
Right.
And we still waiting on y'all to about this for the past 34 years and tell us what tangible benefits we're going to get from the Biden administration. So Lisa Cabrera
Right.
to break down on he has the lowest approval rating out of the past 7 presidents. So,
Damn, man. His approval rating, man, is lower than let me see, who was that motherfucker? He was lower than Carter's.
Yep.
Yeah, I see. Damn.
He's the only one that he's not worse than Truman, Harry Truman,
Right.
and Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, I think it was either Woodrow Wilson or you got to go back to like damn near early 1900s.
Okay, that'd be Grover Cleveland, Woodrow Wilson,
Yeah.
Franklin Roosevelt. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. Teddy Roosevelt, William McKinley, that crooked bastard who got caught up in a teapot dome case and died in San Francisco. Warren G. Harding, Herbert Hoover. Okay, Roosevelt, then Truman. Okay, then after Truman was Eisenhower. Then after Eisenhower was Kennedy. Then Tricky. Okay.
Oh, since
Who was not a yeah, and right, yeah, Tricky, yeah, who was not a
Truman had the lowest ratings.
Okay, and then Gerald Ford, he wasn't shit. He was neither elected president or vice president, believe it or not. Gerald Ford was not elected
my
president
about that, yeah,
or vice president. You see what I mean? Yeah, because what happened is, and I'm gonna, keep it moving and just talking about a little bit of presidential history we're on, and this is what I've lived through. 1973, right after the Yom Kippur War started, where the gas crisis started. Okay, is that Nelson? Wait a minute. No, Spiro Agnew, okay, resigned as the vice president of some crooked shit that he did, when he was the mayor of Maryland. Okay, so then they go through the pity pat game of the fraud in the U.S. Congress, and then there was a congressman from Michigan who they put up there to be the vice president by the name of Gerald Ford. Now, how in the fuck you go from congressman to vice president? Isn't it usually you go to congressman, then senator, then to the presidency?
Yeah.
Okay. So then. Okay, this was during the Watergate situation. Okay, because the Watergate situation.
Because he wasn't the vice president. So was he? Was third in, so he was the Speaker of the House.
I don't know. He was just he wasn't the Speaker of the House. No, wait a minute, Brother Che, you're right. He was not the Speaker of the House, is because if any damn thing at the time, the Speaker of the House should have been the Vice President, just off the law of ascension, you would think.
Right.
Okay, so then they confirmed Ford to be the Vice President. Okay. All right, so he was the vice president, man, from 73 to 74, less than a year before Tricky resigned. Okay, and keep in mind is that the Watergate case was still going on. Okay, and the heat was getting up on Tricky. Okay, just like how they had the impeachment on the dump as in human shit, and we want to make that perfectly clear. To quote one of his predecessors, who was not a crook.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the Watergate scandal is getting on. You could pull up the cases on the Judge John J. Sirica, Senator Sam Ervin. Those are the key players in there. And then I'll never forget today that there was a young attorney wearing glasses by the name of John Dean, who got up there and stated that it was Tricky who gave the orders to bug the Watergate Hotel. And if anybody ever saw the movie Forrest Gump, where the scene where he was talking to Tricky and he was at that hotel with the flashlights, that's what he was talking about, was the Watergate break-in. And Watergate was the name of a hotel where Tricky's cronies had broke off into the Democratic National Headquarters or their headquarters, getting some key information, about the upcoming presidential candidate. And then the bastard who was running against Nixon in 1972 by the name of George McGovern, who was the former senator of Montana. That son of a bitch lost. Yeah, he lost every state against Tricky. He lost every state. He did not win not one fucking state. So then the shit is getting ready to hit the fan. This is 1974. Oakland A's is on their way to the World Series. Muhammad Ali and George Foreman had just signed a big fight, for Zaire that year. That was in the news. Okay, the energy crisis was coming up. The price of gas was going up, you know what I mean? And keep in mind that they were pissed off with the price of gas going from 35 cents to a fucking $1, then $2. You see what I mean? Okay, so then Dean gets up there, man. You watch the news unfold. He says it was Tricky that did give the order to break into the Watergate Hotel. Mouths is dropping. The news is, the history is unfolding. All the all the news cameras and are flashing. Is big news. You see what I'm saying? Extra. Read all about it, man. The next day in all the major newspapers across the country. So then old Tricky Dick gets up there and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a crook, but I'm so heartbroken that Gerald Ford will be your president at 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon." So then you see old Tricky walking out the White House, him and Pat Nixon, taking that flight back to California out there to what he would call his home, San Clemente, California, as the Western White House. And then old Gerald Ford comes up there, 1974, the big fight is going on. The war in Vietnam is winding down. They are bringing the troops home from Vietnam, and what have you. Denali wins the heavyweight crown again. And then I don't think the ponies were in no contention, man, in football that year.
Stop it, bro. Yeah, stop this about it.
And the Raiders had Kenny Stabler, who was making a name for himself at that time, and Dave Casper, who was a great running back, And the only name famous that I remember for the Broncos at that time was a dude by the name of Floyd Little.
Yep,
number 44.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to remember some of them dudes wearing those orange jerseys back then. But keep in mind, that's over 50 years ago.
Yeah,
50 years.
Why you keep telling the size track? So we got Biden got the lowest approval rating. So let's let Lisa finish up with her video.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the chart they are talking about. The 7 presidents before Biden, in their 3rd year of their presidency, they all ranked above him over a 40-year period.
Even George Bush Jr.
Well, Joe Biden is very pathetic. So people are saying that Biden's performance is poor.
Mm-hmm.
They think it is poor. So former President Barack Obama held 43% approval rating at the same point of his presidency. All of the presidents reaching back to Jimmy Carter had approval ratings above 50%.
Mm-hmm.
So you can clearly see that. Biden is complaining the close aides as his low approval ratings continue to frustrate him and First Lady Jill Biden, according to a new media report. After pardoning a pair of turkeys, an annual White House tradition, Biden delivered some stern words for a small group assembled. His poll numbers were unacceptably low, and he wanted to know what his team and his campaign managers are doing about it. Wait, you're doing a lousy job, and you want somebody else to do something about that. Wow. So he that his economic message has done little to move the ball, even as the economy was growing and unemployment was falling, according to people familiar with his comments, who spoke on the condition, well, they wanted to be anonymous as usual, to discuss a private conversation. According to the Post, whose headlines noted that Biden, his dismal poll numbers, the Biden family's complaints date back months, with the president and the first lady telling aides and friends that they are frustrated by the president's low approval rating and the polls that show him trailing President Donald Trump. Well, he's going to continue to trail, and we know he won't even talk about reparations. And, with the war situation, a lot of the Muslims are upset because, he has been pro-Israel. And that's why the Muslims are saying they are not voting for Biden at all. So they have come out and said that. So Biden's low numbers are fueled by 4 and 5 U.S. adult ratings, the national economy as fair, 33%, or poor, 45%, and just 3% said economic conditions were excellent, and 19% said they were good. More than 2/3, 68% of Americans say the economy was getting worse, while 28% said it was improving, lending credibility to other surveys that showed voters rejecting Bidenomics, the president moniker, for his financial policy.
How's it improvement?
So the White House made the case before the holiday season that prices were declining across the board from the previous year. But Republicans have pointed to inflation still outpacing wages as a source of voter frustration. Gallup rated American economic confidence at -32, well above the lowest point of the Biden's presidency in June of 2022, when inflation was at its peak. And the polling group Economic Confidence Index hit -58. Well, it don't look like too many people got faith in Biden. The Gallup poll shows 26% of U.S. adults rank either the state of the economy, 14%, or inflation, 12%, as the most important problem facing America. No, the most important problem facing America is our reparations.
That's right.
But let me move on. Another 6%, of Americans said poor leadership was the biggest issue, while the same percentage said immigration was the most pressing problem. So Biden he went to Congress and he wants them to pass a $110 billion bill, additional funding as part of a national security bill to help Ukraine fight its war against Russia, Israel against Hamas, as well as provide further spending on U.S. border U.S. border enforcement. Well, you wouldn't have to spend that if you didn't let a whole herd of people in here.
That's right, Lisa.
So the package have been stalled in the Senate, and by party affiliation, 78% of Democrats approve of Biden, 3 percentage points above the lowest rating recorded for members of the president's party in October. But just 34% of independents and 5% of Republicans approve of Biden's leadership, the survey shows. The president's approval has remained in single digits among Republicans since his administration botched the withdrawal from Afghanistan in August of 2021. Among independents, Biden hit a record low approval rating at 27% in November before bouncing back this month. So Trump, the Republican frontrunner to challenge Biden in 2024 general election, has a 39.9 favorable rating, according to Real Clear Politics. However, other polls show U.S. voters would prefer how the likely GOP president nominee would handle the economy, foreign conflicts, and immigration. So it looks like people want Trump to talk on those issues and throw in reparations. He needs to talk on that too. So, if he's not for it, then we got a direction to go in as well as others, right?
Right.
So please tell me what you think about this video. I'm not surprised that Biden is polling worse than any other president in the last 40 years. Sounds right to me.
Right.
Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video.
Okay. All right, yeah, on that there, I just find that kind of interesting is that they had old Reagan and Carter at the same approval rating. And keep in mind is that it was Reagan that did Carter in 1980. Then on top of it too is that Reagan's approval rating wasn't all that great, is because they was hyping this son of a bitch up in the 1980s. He's the greatest thing for America. He's gonna get the country back on his feet, and look what this motherfucker did. He started artificial intelligence in the 1980s. You know what I mean? It's because the whirlwind WW died, in 1994. Okay, that there was the start, of the internet phase, and yeah, and look how they let it go out of control. See, they straight out let it go out of control. And then what happened was then after Reagan, you had the one-term president Bush Senior, from 88 to 92. And then Slick Willie came in 92 and 96. And then, of course, you saw what Slick Willie did to the black community. You say, and then after Slick Willie, then you had Baby Bush. Then, of course, you had the situation, man, that happened with the World Trade Center in 9/11. And then after Baby Bush, then you had, let me see, a one-term president.
Sambo.
Al Gore.
Al Gore. Wow.
Yeah, no, he beat Al Gore. Yeah, then old Sambo came in. Yeah, then old Sambo came in. With that there would be 2008 because he had his acceptance speech in a Mile High Income City. I was there, when he talked about change that we could believe in, man. And yeah, he made some changes, all right. Yeah, you saw the change he made. Get it? Yeah. And then, the dump, as in human shit, he got selected 2016, you know what I'm saying? And that I hate to say, and the Olympics were in Rio de Janeiro that year, and I did not get a chance to see any Olympics that year because I had wanted to see Brazil, you know what I mean? And then so then the shit, that's going on currently that this asshole, the dump, had set up in. Now, your state of Colorado did the right thing by pulling that bastard's name off the ballot. Now, Gavin Newsom, he doesn't want to do what Colorado did. He says let the people at the polls decide. But people in California were saying, well, hey, gruesome Newsom, go yank the son of a bitch off the ballot, is because California carries the most electoral votes out of all the 50 states when they go to select the president. You see what I mean? So gruesome Newsom, like I said, he is gruesome. He ain't shit. And also, too, Governor Newsom, you're welcome to give us a call. Well, not give us a call anymore since we're being shadow banned on Blog Talk. But gruesome Newsom, your staff is welcome to see us and comment on your sorry ass, on our platforms, is because gruesome Newsom, it was a known fact that you had a friend of yours who was running to be mayor of San Francisco. You was the campaign manager for him, and you was fucking this man's wife. See, I don't have no respect for no rats like that. Plus, you're Nancy Pelosi's nephew. Plus, your ass is sitting out there talking about after you put California on lockdown behind the COVID shit. Then you take that raggedy ass broad of yours that you're married to and you go up there and have a birthday party up there at one of your family's wineries in Napa County. And you were not even obeying the law of this mask up vaccine taking shit that you swore to uphold. So, I don't have no regard for these fucking hypocrites. And then Governor Newsom, you're sitting up there saying, let Trump stay on the ballot in California. Follow Colorado's trend. You yank that son of a bitch off the ballot. You yank that bastard off the ballot, he's guaranteed to lose because he will not get the electoral votes out of California. California carries the majority of the electoral votes in a presidential selection. And then what they're going to do, they're going to fuck the black voter again, having black people believing in a system that does not believe in them. I mean, look at the history of it.
Yeah, I hear you, Shabaka. I hear you. So, Biden, I still want to go out and vote for him. I think the Supreme Court is going to overturn it, though, Shabaka.
Okay, you're talking about the U.S. Supreme Court of what you all did in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a safe bet. Is because it's the repubs or them conservatives that's running the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yeah, it's like six of the judges are conservative.
Yeah, exactly. And you only got 9 justices. So the only thing to dump, as in human shit, needs is a 5-4 ruling in his favor.
Yeah, 6 of the Supreme Court justices are conservative. The only thing are Democratic or liberal.
Mm-hmm. Then you got your Ketanji Brown.
Oh Lord, the one I couldn't afford.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really would appreciate it, like these motherfuckers who's calling themselves Katanji and Hakeem
Mm-hmm.
and what have you. Now I understand that you're trying to reconnect with your African past. Why
Well,
don't you motherfuckers
Hakeem
when yeah,
is Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Leonard Jeffries' nephew.
okay, but even still, your ancestors gave you your ancestral name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or what they perceive to be your ancestral name, and you spit in the faces and the memories of the ancestors when you sit up here and go for the same systemic bullshit that's been fucking your people around for the last 400 years.
Yep, you're right, Shabbat.
The hypocrisy is real. You know what I'm saying? Now, although I don't exactly agree with Dr. Cornell West, but at least he's trying to be a third party candidate. Now, Dr. Cornell West, addressing you, not getting off topic, Brother Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Cornell West, okay, you went out there and you joined some protests and what have you, and you got arrested a couple of times. Sir, were you arrested for felonies or infractions?
I think infractions, Shabbat.
Yeah, precisely my point. You see, big difference between the two.
Yeah.
When the Black Panthers went out and did their thing, when the civil rights workers went out and did their thing, like when Dr. King wrote his letter from the Birmingham jail, they were hit with felonies
Yep.
and fire hoses
Mm-hmm.
and nightsticks and police dogs.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about what the Black Panthers went up against for exercising their constitutional rights. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, Dr. Cornell West, we appreciate the gesture, but the question is, are you going to do anything of some significance to change these fucking problems that we are facing as a people?
No.
You see what I mean? Because, yeah, exactly. Because if you're not, man, I haven't voted in 20 years. My family's been on me, to go out and vote. So I'm a registered to vote here in the state of Nevada in 2024. And the only person I'm voting for is Jesse Parrish for president of the United States.
Yeah, I gotta look
That's
into
it.
that because I gotta look into that writing with the federal level.
Right, and please let me know. Because if I cannot legally write your name in to be a presidential candidate, then here's the writing. Then this is the writing candidates that I'm going to put in for each office:
Okay.
Snoopy, Charlie Brown,
and Mickey Mouse,
Pigpen, Peppermint Patty, Amos and Andy, Laurel and Hardy. Hey, Lassie.
I put reparations interchangeables.
Exactly. Yeah, but if you're not eligible to be on this ballot here in Nevada, that's why I'm going to be writing in for every office. Okay, it's because you're the only person, Brother Paris, that I sent who I see go out there to the senior citizens apartments every Sunday, helping the senior citizens. And this is why I always say, and I'm going to say it on air, where's that faggot ass mayor of Denver at when you go out there in the cold, man, with your time, energy, and effort, man, distributing, to the seniors at the Dahlia apartments? Where's that trick at? Where's that no good bastard Hankison at? You know what I'm saying?
Hankison is in Florida now.
Oh, down there with the panties, huh? Okay, Interesting.
Johnson trying to get more migrants in here.
Yeah. So what he's doing is he's selling out black people again. Boy, and I tell you, Brother Paris, and I hate to say this right here, but of my 60 plus years of being on this planet, when it comes to politics, black politicians are black people's worst enemies.
Yep.
They really are. They really are.
To be that, they decided to spend $15 million against me.
Yeah. You see, because they don't like the truth of what you say. They don't like the truth of what.
They Sambo
Yes,
around
sir.
with cutting shields like fucking Jeff Bart.
Yeah, exactly. Like Jesse Jackson. And that's why if you looked at my wall, Brother Paris, on Facebook about 10 days ago, there was a old clip of Jesse Jackson when he was in his late 30s, where he's standing up there with a dashiki on, raising his fist, talking about, I am somebody. That was at the Wattstacks it was sad. And I remember Jesse Jackson up there with red, black, and green on. He was the MC of the Wattstacks conference talking about, I am somebody. You know what I'm saying? And this sorry sellout ass motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I really appreciated what they did in Ferguson when Jesse Jackson
ran his ass off.
went there. Yeah. And the youngins told him, no, man, you get the fuck up out of here, man, because we're about an inch off of your ass. We are not hearing that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we're not hearing that shit. Same thing with Al Sharpton. You know, told you motherfuckers, man, to keep it going. Just like what the X-Man said, man, in his speech about the March on Washington. They handpicked Dr. King to go there at the last minute, man, for that.
Yep.
See, and you know, so these Democrats, you know, they just as dirty too, because who was the president at the time of the March on Washington? It was JFK. Yeah, about 4 months before he got assassinated in Dallas, you know, which was a tragedy, you know what I mean? And whatnot. And then everything, you know, went crazy. You had your boy LBJ come in office.
Democrat for the next 200 years with the civil rights.
And that's, yes, and these Negroes have been going for it, hook, line, and sinker.
But here's the thing, Shabaka. It's a new day on the plantation, and life is happening.
Yeah.
They're transitioning out. So.
Oh, yes, sir. And this artificial intelligence is taking over, and we need checks and balances on that.
Well, Biden called himself trying to pass some regulations on that. But,
that senile motherfucker going around shitting on his pants, man. I think he's so fucked up in the head, man. He don't know which way is up. And that dude to be 81 years old, he's incompetent, man.
82 next year. He just turned 81.
He's incompetent. Yes, sir. He's incompetent. And you got to hurry up and get that flatbacker up out of office too.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah. You got to get rid of that flatbacker. You know. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of it as well too. I mean, man, just what happened to our fucking cohesiveness, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, all through your generation, Brother Paris.
The crack epidemic happened.
Yeah, which was all part of it. The crack epidemic. Let's see, then taking the black woman. I mean, taking a black male at the household. You know what I'm saying? Forcing him. Forcing him into a life of crime. You know what I mean? That federal, what was that there? That federal enforcement at time.
The Anti-Substance Abuse Act.
Yeah, no, the federal crime bill that Clinton signed in office in '96. Yeah.
94. That was Biden's bill. That was Biden's law.
Right. You know.
Crime bill.
Right, and then the damn crack epidemic, which was a conspiracy, just like the cat that you showed up, man. What was the officer's name at the LAPD? What was his name? Gary Webb?
Yeah, he was a reporter.
Okay. Yeah, but there was an LAPD officer that I saw a clip on, where the LAPD officer was uh, stating before Julian Dixon and Maxine Waters. Okay, it's because Maxine Waters had launched a congressional inquiry into it, and then when this officer had came up who stated that he had been shot at twice, okay, he said is that he stated what he knew, and I believe that Daryl Gates was the police chief at the time. And then I forgot the name of the police chief. Oh yeah, Willie Williams, who wasn't shit. Okay, and man, he had stated that it is a CON conspiracy, and they wanted to flood the black community with it, which they did. And then you would see why you got so many homeless individuals out there, from the crack era. You see. And then you got a second and third generation of homelessness coming about. I've seen people even here on Facebook saying that they had been homeless all their lives, and they're in an age group younger than you.
Mm-hmm.
How is a child going to be homeless all their life?
That's horrible, Shabaka.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But as we stated before on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhancing here on Frontline Black News, and we even stated when we were with the Mile High News, when I did the West Coast report, is that they're going to have all our people so fucked up, they're going to take them right out there into the Mojave Desert and FEMA camps, concentration camps. They're going to shut off the water. It's what they're going to do. And that Mojave Desert people, it will get up to 110 and 120 degrees. And the Mojave Desert just ain't in Las Vegas. That desert is in Utah, Nevada, Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico. Just look at the Western United States and the mountain states. All that there is 80% desert, except for when you get up into the Pacific Northwest. And you even got desert in Montana. Say the plains. But you do got some desert terrain in Montana. Wow. Between Helena and Great Falls, where Stagecoach Mary did her thing, carrying those lemon squeezers and carrying that rifle, And Stagecoach Mary, she was a big woman, and she beat men's ass. She beats everybody's ass. Stagecoach Mary get a little bit of that liquor in her, and you go off into a restaurant talking about you gonna be disrespectful, she'll beat your ass. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And hand them lemon squeeze. And moving right along, brother. Yes, sir.
These Republicans wanting to take Biden in several states.
Right. Oh yeah. And isn't that dick sucking tramp Nikki Haley trying to do something with that too?
I wouldn't put it past her. I know people that's bad salami said that if
right.
Trump's not on the ballot, then he don't want to be on the ballot either.
Right. So, well, old Rami Salami, he can go suck a dog's dick too.
Right. So this is from Lisa Kabur again, and it says Republicans threaten to remove Joe Biden from the ballot in states they control.
Oh, okay.
Colorado taking Trump off the ballot. Mm-hmm. Well, what now? The red states, some of the Republicans are threatening to take Joe Biden off the ballot. The Republicans are calling for President Joe Biden to be removed from state presidential ballots following the Colorado court ruling that Donald Trump is not permitted to be on its ballot next year. In a 4-3 decision on Wednesday, the Colorado Supreme Court ruled that the former president violated the 14th Amendment, which bars public officials from holding federal office if they have engaged in insurrection. In November, a lower court in Colorado had agreed with the plaintiffs, a group of Colorado voters, including Norma Anderson, a petitioner and former Republican majority leader of the Colorado House and Senate, that Trump engaged in insurrection over his behavior during the riot at the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. During the siege, Trump subpoenaed in protest of his election loss. Trump, the front runner for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, has denied all wrongdoing and has not been charged with insurrection. He has argued that courts do not have the authority to bar candidates from the ballot under the Constitution provision. Now, some Republicans have said Biden, too, should be removed from state ballots, though it is not clear on what constitutional grounds. So, a Republican, Anthony Sabatini, a Republican running for Congress in Florida, the 11th district, who previously served as a Florida state representative, wrote an X, formerly Twitter, remove Biden from the Florida ballot now. Speaking to Fox News, the Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, suggests Biden should be removed from his state ballot in 2024 due to his administration's response to immigration at the U.S.-Mexico border. Seeing what happened in Colorado makes me think that we believe in democracy in Texas. Maybe we should take Joe Biden off the ballot in Texas for allowing 8 million people to cross the border since he's been president, disrupting our state, Patrick said. Political commentator Gunther Eagleman, he posted on X saying that Biden should be removed from the Texas ballot after the Colorado ruling. P.T. Keenan, a conservative commentator and author, took it a step further, writing on X, all red states would petition their courts to remove Biden from the ballot. Yeah, I knew these Republicans were going to lose their mind. So Colorado court said in its ruling, a majority of the court holds that President Trump is disqualified to hold office of the presidency under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. President Biden didn't merely incite an insurrection, it added. Even when the siege was on Capitol Hill, it was fully underway. So he continued to support it by repeatedly demanding the Vice President Pence refuse to perform his constitutional duty and by calling senators to persuade them to stop the count of the electoral votes. These actions constituted overt, voluntary, and direct participation in the insurrection. Boy, it's going to be a lot of infighting this election season.
Oh, yeah.
So, reacting to the Trump ruling, the Trump campaign spokesperson, Stephen Chung, said they would appeal the decision to the U.S. Supreme Court. Unsurprisingly, the all-Democratic appointed Colorado Supreme Court has ruled against President Donald Trump, supporting George Soros funded. Okay, here we go with that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, he said the Democratic Party leaders in a state of paranoia over the growing dominant lead of Donald Trump has a mace in the polls. They have lost faith. And they said Biden has failed as a president and are now doing everything they can to stop the American voters from throwing them out of office in November. The Colorado Supreme Court issued a completely flawed decision tonight, and we will swiftly file an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court and a concurrent request for a stay of the deeply undemocratic decision. We have full confidence that the U.S. Supreme Court will quickly rule in our favor and finally put an end to these un-American lawsuits. So that's how Trump's camp responded back. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I think we're going to see a wild and fiery election season.
Oh, yeah, big time.
You know, you got two people that already fought over the presidency back in 2020, and now they're about to fight over it again. And we know that Joe Biden's numbers are slumping, which means Trump really do have a great chance of winning. And to be honest with you, Biden is doing so bad right now, I think even without Colorado, he could still probably beat Biden. But that's my opinion. Biden still has not done a single thing to turn around the mess he has made. He certainly has not turned everything around with the Black community, who he really had a strong standing with back in 2020. But this time around, it won't be the same. You can best believe that. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.
Shabaka, did you doze off?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Oh, okay. What are your thoughts on what Lisa just said about the damn Republicans doing what the Democrats are doing in regards to keeping each one of their candidates off the ballot?
Yeah, well, she's right of what she's doing, and this is the first time that you're seeing this type of activity where these candidates, man, you know, they gone downright cutthroat. You know what I mean? Because like I said, that Gavin Newsom said, you know, leave him on the ballot in the primary. And why, with him being a Democrat, you know, he's saying it's about a Republican, you know, but like I said, California is so confused. They would elect a Democratic governor and a Republican lieutenant governor and turn around in the next governor's race and do the exact opposite, you know. But what it is, though, Brother Paris, is that these are some uncharted waters in the history of this country and the presidential elections, man, that I've lived through. You know what I'm saying? And I've lived through a lot of them, you know. Yeah. And this is just uncharted waters. So the thing is, for us as a people, as we keep emphasizing, man, we need our own tangibles, man. You know what I'm saying? And it might even have to get to the point where we have to separate from these motherfuckers, man. I'm serious. Oh, excuse me.
That's why.
Excuse me, people.
That's exactly why. It's separations.
No, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. Yes, and we need our own factors of production, land, labor, capital, risk management. You see what I'm saying? And we need our own educational systems, man. Is because going up here with this alphabetized agenda, you know, confusing our children in their developmental years. You see what I'm saying? Is wrong. You know. That dude is gonna shove ketchup up his ass and talking about he's menstruating.
Yep, some very sick times we're in right now, Shabaka. So
yes, sir.
The Supreme Court is gonna overturn what happened in Colorado.
Okay, the U.S. Supreme Court Hopefully the U.S. Supreme Court would uphold what Colorado did, because if the U.S. Supreme Court upholds that of what they did in Colorado, then that means that California and all the other states will be eligible as well too. Now, it makes no difference to us if they take Biden off the fucking ballot or not. Okay, the main thing is that we can't have an idiot like Trump, get reselected again. Okay, and like you said, hold your vote. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna go out here and vote for these no good bastards, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not acquainted with them. I don't know them, but I know Jesse Parrish, who ran for mayor of Denver with a B1 agenda with a grassroots campaign. So that's the spirit of politics right there. And this man goes out here every Sunday and he cares for the elderly, with the food bank program. Jesse Parrish ain't getting paid for that. He does that there from the goodness of his heart. So that there, a test. Hey, Sister Akshita, all right. Thank you for being up late night tonight with us. And I'm sure you're hearing what we're saying and whatnot. And please share it, sisters, because Blog Talk, Sister Akshita, yeah, they pulling a twist on us. You know what I mean? So we're going to bring in Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced to the StreamYard. It's because, they're fucking with our algorithms over there at Blog Talk, you know what I mean? And we're gonna try to pull the episodes up out of there to keep them for our archives, So moving right along, Brother Che, is that is dangerous. Now, maybe Sister Akshita could enlighten something on this here. Okay, is because how should I say, Dynamite and them, man, was talking about, man, about our nationality and what have you. You see what I mean? I mean, in your opinion, since you study law, Brother Che, is this something, man, that we need to check into, man, in depth further, or what? Because I know Sister Akshita, she has a lot of knowledge on it, and hopefully she'll join us.
I mean,
if she's up.
In terms of sovereignty, yes, but the thing about the whole thing about the sovereignty is there's no court, there's no military, there's no army that's going to enforce our sovereignty.
Okay. Well, that's what the Black Panthers was trying to be, man. Ask the chairman on that, because I was a child when all that there was happening on, and what have you. Because looking at the 10-point program and what have you, yeah, that we have a right to our self-determination. You see what I mean? And then on top of that as well, too, is that we have a right, man, to produce for ourselves. Because you see, on the economical front, we have to become producers and stop being consumers. You see what I'm saying? We have to have businesses, to put our own selves to work. And, okay, Sister Akshita states the Declaration of Human Rights of Indigenous Peoples states we have the right to self-determination and nationality. Okay, thank you, sister. Okay, yeah, we do have the right to self-determination.
How are we going to enforce it? We have all these rights.
Okay.
That's just like having all the skills. But if you have no
right
enforced, then what's the point of it? I mean,
okay, now, Sister Akshita, how can we enforce this? And then also, too, how can we set up, forgive the term, but how can we set up a police force for ourselves and not be subjugated, you say, to these race soldiers?
That's what she said.
Okay, Sister Akshita says nations steal nations,
we have no
and nations hold nationality. Okay, Sister Akshita, okay, there's no need to enforce it. Okay, please enlighten us, Sister
So that
Akshita.
nobody want to get them to recognize it. There's no need to enforce it.
Mm, okay, all
So
righty. Asking Sister.
that's what kind of irritates me about this whole sovereignty thing. It's like, okay, so we don't have nothing. We don't need to enforce it, but then we have Dred Scott, which the white person is supposed to respect the rights of the Negro. So then, like, where do we go from there?
Right. Okay, it's just like the Nation of Islam. Okay, all righty. Okay, NOI. They made a significant impact. Okay, stand in your power. Okay, Sister Akshita, got you. All righty. Now, keep in mind is that the NOI, they're the ones, who brought you the X-Man. They're the ones, who brought you the heavyweight champion, Muhammad Ali. Oh, and by the way, Sister Akshita, I'm in Facebook jail. They won't let me post any groups for 3 days, because I hit them with some truth that they didn't like. Okay, alrighty, okay. Now, the X-Man, prior to his assassination, from what I understand, he was getting ready to petition the United Nations, for human rights violations of black people here in the United States.
Yeah,
Okay, now,
that's the thing. Like, we always want to go to the UN about everything, but see, who controls the UN? We don't control that. That's what I'm like. It's
right,
like we get
yeah.
into these
Damned if we
sessions
do,
when we're
damned if
talking
we
about
don't.
we
Yeah,
need to go to the UN and who's in charge of the UN. It's damn sure not us.
right. Right, and then keep in mind that the United Nations is there in New York, and then they were talking about something with the World Court, which is the Hague. Okay, but look where the Hague is, man. That's in okay, that there. Okay, the Dred Scott case opened up the knowledge of the 14th Amendment. Okay, Sister Akshita. Okay, all righty. Twin Pyramid. Okay, greetings to you. Okay, peace to all. Okay, Pyramid. All right, twin. All righty. So therefore, Brother Che is gonna take a lot of work. And I hate to say, man, that I would perhaps have been transitioned, man. When this here comes to the forefront. Okay, it's because I'm in, my age group, man. So I probably got 10, maybe 15 years at the most, man. You know what I'm saying? Before I start falling apart. You know what I mean? Because damn, man, in 15 years, I'm gonna be up there with Biden's age.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, no! In the day I have to shit on myself and can't wipe my ass. No, I don't need to be here, man. Not trying to be funny, man. But no, but I don't want to get that bad, man. Oh Lord, have mercy. If you see me like that, put me out my misery. Okay. Sister Akshita states 14th Amendment enforces the colorable law and statutory law. Okay, and the 14th Amendment, yeah, that is a huge amendment. Okay, Sister Akshita, you got me going to class, sister. Okay, have to read over the 14th Amendment.
14th
Okay.
Amendment, the 13th and the 15th were supposed to be specifically for us. As Dr. Claude Anderson tells us taught us.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. Yeah, the 13th Amendment to end chattel slavery. The 14th Amendment to give the slave the
They're still, just because they're social constructs don't mean that they don't exist. They do exist. They still dictate our current reality, our current status in the society. So as long as it's like that, yeah, they can be constructs all they want, but it still exists.
and then too, you have these race soldiers out here. You see what I'm saying with this impunity? See that's the part that gets me because every fucking time, man, that I get behind the wheel of my vehicle out here, man, and one of these race soldiers want to pull me over, man, in one of these desolate areas out here, and then hey, oh, we ran your license and this plate right here. Oh, you that arrogant black bastard, huh? Kaboom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I need to move us
Then
forward.
no more. Yeah. Okay.
I really wasn't expecting to have this kind of conversation tonight, but it's good. It's good to have.
Okay.
Vibe.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So I would like to invite Sister Akshita one day, Brother Paris, at her convenience, you know what I mean, to explain all this. But what I wanted to do, Sister Akshita, yeah, you guys force an old guy to go back to these books and study. Okay, and look it up. You know what I'm saying? And okay, if someone calls you Steve and that's not your name, it is your right to correct them and their error or answer to the misnomer.
She's
Okay,
talking about
alrighty.
answering to being black, African American, whatever classification, label, title they want to give us.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the thing.
Okay.
This is why we're coming up on Kwanzaa, and we got Coochie Jakalia, which is self determination, and we're defining ourselves. And we're defining ourselves as the foundation of Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery, freedmen. That is our legal status, is freedmen, not more freedmen. But we always get into this kind of discussions and debates about should we call ourselves more, should we call ourselves Israelites, call ourselves black, should we call ourselves. At the end of the day, we're still freaking oppressed. So no matter what we decide to call ourselves, we're still oppressed by white supremacy. And as long as nobody's talking about replacing that with an actual system of justice, we're just spinning our wheels. That's why I don't like having these discussions because they really don't end up nowhere. It's just we just keep going around in circles. Well, we should call ourselves this. Oh, we should call ourselves this. We should call ourselves that. They're not recognizing none of that. They still see us as niggas. What we call the black Negro. Yes, yes.
What
Or
are the black Negro? Okay, what were the black Negro colored people called before race was created?
well,
Okay, so Sister Akshita.
We're blackamoors. But we're not
Okay, so I'm gonna.
we don't during that time we had control over stuff. We don't have control over nothing right now. So we can argue the semantics about what we call ourselves. At the end of the day, what are we gonna do about this current system that we're under?
Negro. Okay. Oh, she says here. No, she says the term niggas were the rural people.
Yeah. And
Okay, now here's something in y'all's generation, both Brother Che and Sister Akshita. Okay, it's because I'm looking at all these rappers up here using this term niggas, you know what I'm saying?
like y'all are
And
off because like I got other topics to get to. Like this was not the
okay.
discussion. Like this is a type of discussion that we should be having on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, not Frontline Black News.
All right.
We definitely have
Okay. All right. So
tonight.
Okay. All right. We could schedule it. Okay. The spelling was flipped. Okay, Sister Akshata. Okay. Please let us know what your schedule is, ma'am, and you can come out there and explain this. Because, like I said, this is what I mean about you all being a generation after me. See, you all might be enlighten me on something. You see what I'm saying? Okay. But only thing I know when I was coming up, if we was ever referred to a nigga by a white boy, man, we were supposed to put the work in. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of us did, during the black empowerment era, you see. But this is why they want, black men effeminized and switching the roles of the man and the woman. You see what I'm saying? But on the continent, uh, uh, the women did carry a lot of juice. You see what I mean? And this is what the Joe Gibsons, don't understand. This is what the ignorant ass Piankis don't understand. Is because on the continent, the women did carry a whole lot of juice. and African royalty. You know what I mean? And then, and of course, Brother Che, we know about Her Majesty Queen Nzinga. You know what I mean? We know about Her Majesty Queen Hatshepsut. We know about Her Majesty Queen Amina. Who is the queen of Zaza, which is modern day Nigeria, and she commanded troops in the field, and so did Hatshepsut. What's Lisa Cabrera saying?
Well, moving along, it's about this because y'all are like throwing me off. So we got Attorney General Ben Crump exposes Navy Federal Credit Union in discrimination lawsuit.
Okay. Yeah, what's up with that? Yeah, because that's veterans, you know what I'm saying? Sorry to hear that about Navy Federal.
Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this week, I did a story on Federal Navy and their practice of discrimination when it comes down to mortgages for Black service members. And Benjamin Crump has now stepped up to the plate, and he filed a class action lawsuit against Navy.
Yeah, he's getting ready to fuck every man. Fuck class action. But go ahead.
So, Federal
Union.
This is the largest credit union in the U.S. is facing a class action lawsuit accusing it of racial discrimination in its home mortgage practices. Now, when I did that video, there were quite a few service members and veterans that said they even applied for the loans with good credit and were turned down. In many cases, they had more salary than some of the white service members that applied for the same loan, and they got approved. And a lot of the Black members were turned down. But when they went to other mortgage companies, they got approved. So, civil rights attorney Ben Crump and Adam Levitt filed a class action lawsuit Sunday in federal court in Virginia on the behalf of Sherelle Jacob. She's a 40-year-old Black resident of Washington State, and her husband, who was also in the armed forces. And there were other service members, a Black resident of Miami-Dade County, Florida. And it's been many over the years. And from what I was understanding from the comments, this has been going on for many years. So, these folks are saying they were rejected for a home loan with great credit and six-figure incomes. Wow, that is pretty messed up. You have all that going for yourself and you get turned down anyway.
Yeah,
that says a lot about this credit union. It kind of makes you wonder why the feds did not go in and do anything.
Right.
Because they clearly violated the Fair Housing Act of 1968 and the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. They violated both of those things. So the Navy Federal, they lend to military members. Now, they started out lending to the Navy, and then they expanded it to all service members. So, and it includes defense personnel, veterans, and their families. And they approved more than 75% of the white borrowers who applied for new conventional home loans. And according to the data, that less than 50% of Black borrowers who applied for these loans were approved. But these same people, when they went to other mortgage companies, they had no problem getting approved at all. So you're not talking about service members that were Black with bad credit. They actually had good credit and good income. And the U.S. Navy Federal Credit Union turned them down anyway. So they go on to say, when describing its corporate values, Navy Federal claims that it champions communities and that it is dedicated to embracing and celebrating diversity and inclusion in all communities it serves. The complaint states, well, obviously you weren't doing that. You weren't doing that if something like this was going on. And you know what? A lot of times these companies do know these things that are going on, but as long as they're not getting caught, they don't concern themselves with it. But see, now that this has been brought to light, oh yeah, they believe in diversity now. Okay. So the Navy Federal's claim of community support is meaningless in the face of its actual systemic discrimination in housing in violation of federal law. That's why I'm saying, why didn't the feds step in there and shut this down?
Right.
That's my question.
I got the same question.
So they said nearly 30% gap between Navy Federal home mortgage approval rates between white and Black members. The outright discrimination that occurs when banking while Black continues to reveal itself in the lending practices of many of America's largest financial institution, Crump stated in the complaint. It's shameful that the Navy Federal, an organization that prides itself in helping the families of men and women who serve their country, does not give their Black and Latino customers the same opportunities as white customers. The Navy Federal isn't the first financial institution Crump has filed a class action against. In May, Crump and a former Los Angeles Mayor, Willie Brown, filed a class action suit against Wells Fargo, accusing it of denying loans to minority applicants at unprecedented rates during the pandemic when the interest rates dropped to historic lows. The case is still pending. Well, Wells Fargo, I am not shocked over Wells Fargo at all. Okay, that is one bank. They are so shady. Right. I am not shocked over that at all. It seems like nothing shocks me when it comes down to Wells Fargo. Right. For real.
Man, they started in California during the gold rush.
Federal responded to the class action lawsuit and in a press release. They said they are treating the allegations very seriously and have retained leading civil rights attorney Debo P. Adegbile, I think that's how it's pronounced, former commissioner on the United States Commission on Civil Rights, and his team to assess its mortgage lending policies, practices, and make recommendations to drive further access to home ownership. You know, when I had my first story on this come out, some of the people that responded said they had applied years ago and the same thing happened to them. So if their intentions were good, they would never have carried this practice out of discrimination for decades. They would never have done it. So obviously, you know, now that they're caught, they're probably trying to straighten it all out, you know, after the fact. But now it is really public. So, y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. And, you know, unfortunately, you wouldn't even need laws if things were just fair across the board, but we know that's never going to happen. So here we are. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video.
All right, Shabaka, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, I think it's horrible, man. You know what I'm saying? And I hope, and although Ben Crump is an ambulance chaser, you know, I hope he brings him down on it, man. You know what I'm saying? I really do. But now, enlighten me, Brother Paris, on law. Okay, I think that the individuals who are the victims of this should be getting their own attorneys and not get caught up in no class action lawsuit, because they'll get more money on an individual basis than a class action lawsuit.
Correct.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? See, anytime I hear the term class action, man, I shy away from it. Is because there was a situation with Denny's years ago, you know, where Denny's was sued for, you know, discrimination, you know, on this policy, and people I know went class action with it. And when it was finally settled, man, all they walked away with, man, was like about $22 a piece.
Wow.
I mean, what is that? You see, now if y'all wouldn't went and sued Denny's individually, you see, as far, you know, if I'm correct in a class action lawsuit, y'all would have came out much better, and you would have broke Denny's. You see, but you just saying Denny's got to pay out so much for for everybody to divide. No, y'all should have been hitting Denny's on an individual basis, man, and you would have shut it down just off the law of numbers. You would have shut it down. You know. But however, if Navy Federal Credit Union is doing this, then they should be held accountable.
Right.
And the only thing I hold that I can give Crump credit for, you know, that he took the case. But, you know, as we stated before, you know, he's an ambulance chaser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know?
he's going to win out of this whole ordeal. He's going to get the most money
Yeah.
out of this ordeal. So that's why he took the case on.
Yeah, that's what I mean by ambulance chasers.
Right. Same like you, Navy Federal Credit Union.
Yeah, and the cold part about it is I know people who bank with them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is kind of cold, you know what I'm saying? And people who are military veterans, you know what I'm saying, that bank with them. I'm talking about black folk, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And they go up there, man, and do shit like that, you know? And that's another thing that we as a people need to do entrepreneurial stuff in too, man. Is some banking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, we as black folks, African descent or whatever, how we define ourselves, we need to set up our own damn banking system, man, because look how the Federal Reserve stole that money from the Freedmen's Bureau.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then also too, because I do know is that you had a lot of.
We got to have a way of defending that shit. We have to have a way of making sure we don't have a repeat of what happened with the Freedmen's Bureau.
Exactly. Yeah, Joe Gibson, you know, talks that shit about, well, man, it's the Federal Reserve. Oh, no, they're not going to let you college, you know, do all that, man. We ain't asking for their fucking permission, man. Just fucking do it.
Right.
You know?
Like Nike.
We don't know, you know, we don't need nobody's permission, man. Just do the shit. You know, I mean, this is all what these other groups did to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then old bubblehead Al Sharpton, he's disgusting. You know what I'm saying?
Let's put it mildly.
Yeah, and him and Messy Jesse ain't nothing but damn poverty pimps, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I hate to have to use that. That's all what the fuck they are, is poverty pimps.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Still keep giving them.
And then, I mean, but I mean, how the hell Al Sharpton gonna be up there, man, and doing this and all of that when he was younger? Now all of a sudden, man, this dude is out here with a rainbow flag, man. And then the cold part about it is Jesse Jackson is the one who started the term Rainbow Coalition, you know, I believe 1970s, because when he had his People United to Save Humanity call out.
Fred Hampton Sr.
Huh?
He got that from Fred Hampton Sr.
Yeah, okay. And what's Twin saying right here? Let me put some eyes on.
He said facts.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Twin. Yeah. You know, and I mean, and that's another thing, man. You know, we got to get rid of these fucking poverty pimps. And I do know that New Era Detroit. Now, here's a suspension that I got off of Racebook, because New Era Detroit, what they did a few years ago, is they exposed a poverty pimp. And I mean, they went up there into the church, man, and in Detroit, in Motown, and I'm gonna ask Sister Padilla, you know, she's got any knowledge on that, and they put that poverty pimp on blast, you know. They sure, yeah, they said this fool's talking about, oh, I need y'all to donate so I could buy an airplane. Need y'all to donate so I could buy this and buy that. And then here, you know, people who go to church and have faith in church and what have you, put their, you know, hard-earned money in there, you know, to these pulpit pimps. Man, no, that's a crime within itself. But they get to write it off because they got 501c3 status.
Yep.
You see what I mean? You see? And then the cold part about it is that the banks.
No, they don't have 501c status. They got tax exempt status. So they don't.
Oh, tax exempt status. Okay.
Because they're like
tax exempt.
They're considered a charity or a church.
Okay, twin.
Deposit, and then a lot of those black churches, they deposit the money into a white bank. So
right, exactly, because Umar Johnson had said something about that there too, is because they deposit that money in a white bank, and then that white bank is gonna go out there, man, loan that money out, you know, have usurious interest rates. You see what I'm saying? You know, on black people in the community who they loan the money to. Then on top of it, they themselves invested in the other shit that could be against the benefits of black folks or of our people. You see what I mean? And what have you. So it's very, very essential that we hurry up and become self-sufficient. You see, we have to. And the reason why there's so many fucking obstacles that they're putting up on us becoming self-sufficient, because we know that the white power structure would be a threat to their very existence. You see what I mean? So this is why they want to, turn our women into ghetto gagging whores, you know, for Hollywood and all this sort of type of shit. They went in, and I don't mean no disrespect, ladies. I'm just being real. Then they want to sit up here and feminize black males, have him turning on his own, you know, shattering the black family unit. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's all part of the depopulation.
Yeah. Dr. Wilson told us that.
Yeah, rest in power to her, but rest in piss and shit to Henry Kissinger, who just kicked the bucket a couple of weeks ago.
Man, fuck Henry Kissinger, man. He was full of shit, you know. And that dude wasn't even a damn American. He wasn't even an American citizen, man, being a damn national security advisor. And he was a national security advisor and the Secretary of State under both Nixon regimes. But however, Kissinger was instrumental in ending the war in Vietnam. Yeah. You know, when they started bringing all the troops home in 1973, I remember that. You know? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Because it was an unpopular war. And that's why the heavyweight champion, you know, at that time, refused. Then there was those who were saying, well, he was a coward. He didn't want to die. And the only thing I can say about that, get in the ring with that man, and he would show you what a coward is, and you would be the fucking coward as he would commence to whooping your ass.
Exactly. That part, Shabaka. That part.
Just say, and they had it down to a science, and they had it down to an art. And this is why this bomb Tyson Fury is garbage, and I really wish Ali was in his heyday in his 20s. Although Ali still is 6'3", and this bum Fury is 6'9". The only thing it would have been was timber, And I think Mr. Ali would have gotten great pleasure out of beating the sack out of that dog shit, because he's starting to use the term nigger too loosely that I saw on some of his videos. What the hell does these white people get off talking about just saying, with the term nigga? No, I'm not nobody's nigga.
Yeah.
But Brother Paris, that comment right there, that is for your generation, you and Sister Akshida's generation after I transition, you know what I'm saying? Just make it, possible, make it productive, for our people, to upgrade the quality of our lives and to get the true, economical power that we need.
Right.
See, and
Okay.
get rid of this ass scratching, yassa bossing mentality and philosophy. Yes, sir. All right, man, I got enough about one more topic, brother, and I'm about.
Well, I need you up for this next topic. That is about Hollywood.
Yes, sir.
And about how
Hollywood.
are not
Yeah.
what they should be getting paid.
Right. Yeah. Because a whole lot of the black actresses and actors have been getting hugely underpaid.
If you recall, Shabaka, Sister Monique, not Mile High News Monique, but Monique the comedian.
Oh yeah. She went to Steve Harvey for help, and Steve Harvey turned his back on her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do know that Monique got banned from Hollywood. And please enlighten me, man, exactly what happened, or just refresh me.
So basically, she was telling us that Hollywood was basically not paying black actors and actresses what they were due.
Right.
And they basically try to, make her look like the bad person in the whole situation. And the sister lost a lot of money because they refused to put her in certain roles. And then a bunch of shit came out about when she prayed as in that movie Precious. She had exposed that it was her. She had been molested when she was a child, and that basically role, and it was a whole bunch of stuff that came out of that. So everybody was like, nobody was like really caping for Monique at that time. So now all of a sudden,
right,
caping behind Taraji P. Henson. So this video I'm about to play is about Taraji P. Henson, who is George Henson's great granddaughter, the brother that discovered the North Pole.
Is that right?
Yeah. She received support.
You mean Matthew Henson? So Taraji P. is a descendant of Matthew Henson?
Yep. So Taraji P.
Okay,
Henson.
that I didn't know. I just learned something right there. And the way it probably was is probably Mr. Henson himself that made the actual discovery of the shit. But there was a dude by the name of Admiral Perry, I believe, that he had sailed with. And he was probably. And Mr. Henson was probably the one man that made the actual discovery of the magnetic north, because like how you do a compass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it floats. You see, it's magnetic.
Yeah, well, it keeps moving. Every time we have one of these major earthquakes, it moves. So it's like 40 miles from where it used to be. But I just wanted to give that a little bit of history on that. So she receives support for her emotional remarks on pay inequality for Black actresses. So she went on one
Right.
was talking about how Black actresses aren't getting paid what they're supposed to be getting paid, and there's clearly still
Right.
and between white actresses and Black actresses.
Right.
So I'm gonna let it play. This is again from Lisa Cabrera. Shout out to her.
All right.
Oh, and she also went on Oprah too. I do want to mention that. She went in on Oprah for underpaying her and others.
Okay, you talking about Taraji or Monique?
Taraji.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know by now you heard about Taraji Henson coming out and talking about the pay disparities in Hollywood. Well, since then, Keke Palmer, Gabrielle Union, Monique, Viola Davis. So she's getting a lot of support from people. If you remember years back, Monique was trying to bring a lot of attention to this same subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I don't know, I guess people were afraid to come out and back her up. She really didn't get hardly any support when she was out there. And if you remember, Monique got blackballed.
Yep.
And for a while, we didn't see her out there like we did before. Mm-hmm. And she had to fight for a lot of things, and lawyer up. Mm-hmm. So now that Taraji Henson is coming out to talk about the pay disparities, I'm glad at least people are coming to her defense and also saying they have experienced the same thing. Let's face it, in this country, this is a common thing in many industries, not just Hollywood.
Right.
Where our talents, in many cases, are put on display, but also downplayed at the same time. Mm-hmm. They know it's there. They know it's real, but they don't want to give you any accolades for it. So Monique and Viola Davis comment about Hollywood pay disparities resurface as Taraji P. Henson is shown support for emotional remarks about the issue. And I know many of you have heard these things over the years. I know I have. This is certainly not the first time.
Right.
So comedian Monique may just enter a season of vindication as recent conversations about Black actresses fighting to receive equitable pay for their work have been renewed by Taraji Henson. So the Color Purple actress sparked a flood of headlines when she emotionally admitted that, she had thought about quitting acting. And, she was saying how she constantly have to fight for her pay. Although she has many years of experience, not only in television, but also in movies. And every time her contract comes up, they are always trying to lowball her. And she's pretty much saying she is sick of it. So Henson's plight, with several notable actresses, such as Gabrielle Union, Viola Davis, have co-signed, has generated a resurgence of social calls for Monique to receive her flowers for speaking out on the issue over a decade ago.
Right.
She sure did. No one stood with Monique when she was trying to tell you. Instead, you know, many people actually, you know, did one of those kick her while she's down to Monique, because I remember even on YouTube, I would see people speaking against Monique, dragging her, and really saying a lot of disparaging things because she was speaking out. And I saw that on quite a few channels, by the way. Other remarks included Mo is owned a huge, you know, they're now saying, please come and apologize to Monique, because she has been saying this about Black Hollywood for over a decade. People were saying that she was complaining too much. Now look, surprise, surprise. Another Black actress is saying the same thing. You know, we know Monique, you know, won her award for Precious. And not long after she won her award for, you know, she won an Oscar for Precious, she was blackballed after refusing to promote the film. Now, when, you know, a lot of cases when they're out promoting the film, they're not paid. And I remember they wanted her to go overseas to promote this, you know, free of charge on her own, and she did not give in to their demands. So you know how it is. You don't give in to their demands, then they put the word out that you're difficult, and then nobody will hire you. And that's pretty much what happened to Monique.
That's common practice in Hollywood. That's common practice in Hollywood. And Monique went to Steve Harvey.
Go ahead, Shabaka. Get your thought out so I can finish the video.
Okay, yeah, Monique went to Steve Harvey, you know, for help, and Steve Harvey told her on the air on his show that he couldn't do it because he didn't want to fall from their grace. You see, this is what I'm talking about right there. This is why you would always see me in my Facebook post and what have you. You even hear me here on the Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, you know, say fuck Hollywood. Black people need to start their own movie making industries and what have you. So I appreciate what Tyler Perry is doing down there in Atlanta. But is Tyler Perry going to pay our people right? Also, too, is Tyler Perry going to make sure that those who work behind the scenes are at least 80% Black? They say that would be the juice right there. See, because this all inclusive shit is an illusion.
Yep, it is. All right, I'm going to let the video continue. It's about 5 more minutes left.
Sure.
An award. What are my sisters being offered that didn't win an award or wasn't nominated? This is what Monique said back in 2015 during an interview that she did with CNN Don Lemon. And what does it say to the little girl who's not here yet, that if we continue to accept these low offers, however, do we make it different or make a change? So Viola Davis, who also became an award winner, she has long publicized the disparities in pay and royalties between Black and white actresses. While speaking at the 2018 Women in the World panel, How to Get Away with Murder. This is, you know, the show she was on. And she said, I have a career that probably is comparable to Meryl Streep, Julianne Moore, Sigourney Weaver. They all came out of Yale, Juilliard, and NYU. They had the same path as me, and yet I am nowhere near them. Not as far as money, not as far as job opportunities, said Davis. Nowhere close to it, and yet I have to constantly get on the phone. And I have fabulous agents, by the way. they are getting it. But I have to get on the phone and people say, "You're a Black Meryl Streep." And she returns by saying, "Pay me what I'm worth.
Mm-hmm.
You give me what I'm worth." So Monique marked her return this year when she landed a comedy special, My Name is Monique, on Netflix, years after a dicey lawsuit accusing them of racial discrimination and making a lowball opening offer to her for a comedy special. She is currently in the midst of a suit against Paramount over alleged unpaid royalties for her work on The Parkers. Yes, I did hear about that. I did hear about that. You know, she did all those episodes of The Parkers and she was not getting the royalties from it like she was supposed to. But you know what? You can say what you want about Monique. I like Monique. At least Monique will get up and fight. Right. And she'll let the world know that she's taking these people on. Mm-hmm. She was never afraid to do that. And now, you know, Taraji Henson is doing The Color Purple. She's playing the role of Suge.
Oh, Lord. They degraded her like that.
It's a production that
they degraded her like that.
But again, Monique was saying this about Oprah not paying. You know, she is a Black woman and she's underpaying Black actors and actresses that work for her on different projects that she underpays. And many of us have heard about Oprah
Winfrey.
And I guess some people pay attention.
Oh, man.
So I paid attention to a lot of what Monique was saying about Oprah. And over the years, you know, when the stories come out here and there about her, boy, I tell you what, I see more people dragging Oprah than praising her. And I remember when she first came on, a lot of people were in favor of her, but man, I think if you put a survey out right now, it would come back very favorable about her, for real. But y'all, please tell me what you think about all of the things that have come out from Henson about how they undervalue and underpay Black actresses in Hollywood for their roles. Please leave.
Oh, man. Okay. I certainly hope that Taraji didn't ghetto gag, man, to get her job there, man.
She probably did, Shabaka.
Oh, man.
Shit about she was dating a Black man ain't no good, so she don't want to date a Black man.
They got to her. Yeah, they got to her. Oh, man. Well, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you hear me say here on this platform, fuck Hollywood and fuck the whole damn city of Los Angeles. And remember that Hollywood is a section of the city of Los Angeles. It's not its own city. And check my live feed that I did a couple of years ago. I think, what was that there, Brother Paris? Summer before last in 2022, I believe, when I went down there on Hollywood Boulevard and I did what I said that I would do. Is that, I went there and told Hollywood about itself right there and what have you. And what you told me, man, to stay away from TMZ. So if you got that video, if you could retrieve that video there, Brother Paris, please share it. You know what I mean?
On the resurrection of the mental dead.
Yes, sir. Because I can't post in none of our groups, and I'm so very, very sorry to hear that about Ms. Henson, and just like I'm very, very sorry to hear that about all our people who went out there and got exploited. But one couple who I do have the utmost respect for, that they both have transitioned. was Ozzie Davis and Ruby D.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they did not degrade Miss D or Mrs. Davis like that, because she and Ozzie were married all their lives, you know, with their career. And Miss Ruby D, you know, she's played some very, very powerful pro-black roles. And I hope they didn't pass Miss Cicely Tyson around like that, is because I am in the process of reading her book, Just As I Am. You know, when she wrote her autobiography, and as we do know that Miss Tyson passed away at the age of 95, I believe, a couple of years ago. All righty, so therefore, for all you people out there, you know, and particularly you quote-unquote sisters, if you want to go out there and be a star, no disrespect to black women, but you're going to have to flat back. You know what I mean? You're going to have to go out there and ghetto gag. And I'm making it, you know, clear, no disrespect to women or whatever. Qualification for saying that, I grew up in the city of Los Angeles. So I know what that bullshit is all about. Okay? And the cold part about it is there's just so many of our women who went out there and wound up, you know, homeless, kicked to the curb after they served their purpose. There's a song that I stated before on Shabaka's Black Experience, our podcast. It's on an album called City of Angels by the Miracles. It was made in the year 1975. There's a song on there called Poor Charlotte. Okay? Check it out. Just like when the Whisper sings about Olivia. You know what I'm saying? You know, that was in the 1970s during the quote-unquote disco era.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very sad. But however, if you're going to go to Hollywood, do like Tyler Perry, where you're producing the material yourself, but you also got to have your own distributors too, because you got to go to Lionsgate, 20th Century, Universal, you see what I'm saying, to distribute your material out there. You see what I mean? And then, of course, like, look at the movie maker Oscar Mashore. They stole a lot of his material in the 1930s. You see what I mean? You know, direction techniques, you know, movie creation techniques, you know, and I believe our colleague, Brother Aleem, had did a post a few months back on Oscar Mashore. And then, of course, not to mention of how they did Mr. Paul Robeson.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? But however, we do appreciate Sidney Poitier. We do appreciate Ruby D. Ozzie Davis, Harry Belafonte, Dorothy Dandridge. They passed her around too. You know what I mean? I hate to say. And then if anybody out there has got a problem with it, you know what I'm saying, got the proof to back it up, because I'm going off of materials that I read, you know, that all your lawyers and producers and shit out there did. So I just want to say that, you know, y'all ain't going to come from Century City with your attorneys and sue me for shit. You're not going to come to me from Beverly Hills and sue me for shit. You're not going to come from Wilshire Boulevard and sue me for shit. You know, Hollywood, you're degrading. You degrade our people. See, this is the problem that we have with you, racist white supremacists. See, as soon as we talk about black people, you know, upgrading the quality of our lives and doing right for ourselves, oh, you're racist, you're racist, you're racist. No, we're not.
No, we aren't.
We just we just don't hate our people, what you want us to do.
Yeah.
And maybe Miss Taraji saw through all that. Maybe Miss Henson saw through all that. You see what I'm saying? And just like our man Terrence Howard, who was saying something similar, you know, a couple of months back.
As a CAA or CCA one too. Yeah, he's showing them how they did him with Empire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Okay. Exactly.
Artist group.
You see what I mean?
Creative artist collective.
Yeah, when he was the owner of the record company. Yeah, where Terrence Howard was the owner of the record company. And I remember when he was coming up, man, you know, they was having him on the cover of Ebony and Jet and what have you. But see, Lyndon Johnson Rice went on and sold Johnson Publications to Time Magazine. Man, I don't even buy it no more, man, because of that.
Mm-hmm.
For what? You know, why the fuck am we going to go to the oppressor to get knowledge of our people? For
Right.
what?
For what? Exactly.
Because all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all
so
money ain't good money.
So get into this Taraji P. Henson situation. So shout out to Monique.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a trailblazer and standing up when it was unpopular and uncool.
Right.
That shamed her and tried to get her blackballed and ran her in the mud.
Yeah, all that.
She was doing was telling you the truth, and y'all were too blind to see it at the time. So I'm glad that y'all finally seeing it and rallying behind her.
Right, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? You know, and like I said, Black family, this is the more reason why we got to have cooperative economics. You see what I'm saying? With the talents that we have, that the creativity that we have, the dynamism of where we come from, if we just put our minds together for cooperative economics, you see what I'm saying? We could bring Hollywood to its knees within 20 years.
Yeah, you talking about Ujima or Ujama, which will be celebrated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the 7 day, one of the elements of Kwanzaa. Yeah. They say, but keep in mind though, Black family, I will not be around to see it. You see what I'm saying? So please, please, please do this. So when I go before the ancestors, I could hold my head held high. You know, please do that.
Yes.
No, come on, Black man and woman. I mean, they hate us because they cannot be us. Okay. We don't have to go out here and hate ourselves.
Right.
They hate us because they cannot be us.
Mm-hmm. That's it. So,
yes, sir. Next time.
I don't know if we'll be up for it, but it's about the homeless population. Homelessness is at an all-time high in Black America.
Oh, yes, sir.
The population.
Yes, sir. We got to deal with our unhoused neighbors. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
This is very sad news, but we've been talking about that for quite a while. But homelessness is on a serious rise. Twin is agreeing with everything that she just said, Shubakan.
Yeah.
So, under Biden, homelessness has gone up exponentially. And our people are the most affected, as we've been saying for at least 4 or 5 years now.
Right. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, and these no good Black ass politicians, what the fuck are y'all gonna do about it? Okay. I'm talking to you, Hankison. I'm talking to you, Eric Adams. I'm talking to you, Brandon Johnson. I'm talking to you, Sheila Jackson Lee. I'm talking to that whole congressional Black caucus. Maxine Waters, you know, you did good, ma'am. You've been there for so long, Maxine Waters. You're up there, you know, at 80 years old, ma'am. And thank you for what you try to do in South Central Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying?
So it's time to pass on the torch. Like, these Black politicians want to keep power until they die. Like, it's freaking ridiculous. Right.
Yeah, it is. It's because y'all get your pensions. You know, y'all get your pensions. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will be called on as experts. You know what I'm saying? You guys could write your memoirs. You know, but shit. But get away from this all-inclusive illusion. It's a fucking illusion.
Yep.
Okay. Self-sufficiency, and this is not hatred. Okay. This is not hatred. Facebook and YouTube and all you haters out there, pro-black platforms, you scared because we're going to be controlling our own economics.
Right. So let Uncle Phil get straight to it. So
okay.
And Black Americans are once again the most affected.
Right.
Oh, this is Sister Demetria K. Shout out to the Sister Demetria K.
Talking about how homelessness hit a record high since pandemic aid has run out. Now, it said that about 60,000 people are homeless in the United States of America. That means that they're either sleeping in the shelter or in their car or in a tent. Now, they also talked to a mother of four, Sophia Cheeks. She said that she moved to Virginia to secure a higher paying job at a correctional facility. And she said it was going well until she had to miss work, and she missed more than 6 absences, which caused her to be fired because 2 of her 4 children have disabilities. And so shortly after that, she got evicted from her apartment, which sounded like it was having some issues in and of itself. And for lack of better words, it sounds like it was being run by a slum lord. So soon after that, she and her 4 children had to sleep in her Ford Festiva in a Walmart parking lot. Now, they also had an emotional support dog with them that was for her autistic son, but they had to give it away because obviously they could not afford to take care of it. So she said that eventually she did get a job as an Amazon driver, so like Amazon Flex, where she can go deliver packages, and got some assistance from the government that allowed her to move into low-income housing. Although in the report it said that that is temporary. So for right now, she has a roof over her and her children's head. Now, of course, they said that the homelessness, or they like to say unhoused now, it's a new term that they're using. But
they say unhoused because of me. And they say unhoused neighbors because of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Problem has spiked due to, as they said, the pandemic aid running out, and also the moratoriums have expired on evictions. So now landlords have a green light to go ahead and evict people. So we're seeing a lot of that go on.
Yep. I seen they had an eviction in my building last week. They evicted like 3 people. They had the sheriff out here and everything. They ended up arresting one of them. It was crazy.
Right.
Of course, inflation was at an all-time high, although they're saying it's going down now, but a lot of people are like, going down where? When I go to the grocery store or anywhere else, I'm still feeling the pinch. Like, I don't see that reflected when I'm out spending money.
Right.
But of course, they said that was part of it. And then when inflation is high, landlords are like, okay, I'm going to have to raise the rent on you. Now, people who are renting will have a story and say, yeah, my rent has been raised a lot, right? And a lot of places in the United States, they don't have rent control areas. But I mean, they don't have any rent control. So landlords can kind of raise the rent when they want. And for
you see right there, the county of Los Angeles
are not getting a pay raise. They can't afford to live there. In a lot of cases, they are homeless. And they said this year, too, with the spike in the homelessness or the unhoused situation, saw a lot of first-time unhoused people, right? So for the first time in their life, they were without shelter. And so, of course, they're also attributing that to the migrant situation. Y'all know that there's been a copious amounts of migrants flooding the United States, and not only are they coming over here, but they are benefiting from resources, whether it's housing, money, Social Security. Even recently, I talked about in New York where the food banks are seeing a lot of migrants, and the people who live there in New York who regularly benefit from the food banks, they're not even able to get the food anymore because the migrants are beating them to it. And so there's just a lot going on. But it should also be said, and I think y'all already know that
this is why we run our own food bank. So we don't have those issues. Every Sunday for the past 7 years.
Population is what they're classifying as either Black or African American. So they're making a difference, but nevertheless, they're saying that we make up a majority of the homeless population. And so when you think about
well, hell, we've been knowing that for the last 8 fucking years.
Yeah, we've been saying that for at least 8 years. But they, oh no, it's just some crackers, it's some white trash crackers that's out there. They're the ones that make up the most homeless. It's like, no, it's our people, me, you, and Lady
Right.
Yeah, for the longest. No,
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
Yeah.
Fucking mouse is like right behind me.
Well, I mean, you need the cat, man.
I hear his little ass whistling through shit. But yeah. So when you get housed, you get into pieces of shit like I'm in right now. But it still beats being outside. You know how cold it is right now, Shabaka? It's like in the teens.
No, man. Okay, see, so that yeah, so somebody could freeze to death in that.
Mm-hmm. And I don't even think they
Yeah,
because
and they didn't open up no homeless shelters.
I didn't hear nothing about them opening up any warming shelters. I mean, I know the city council had passed something where they could lower. They got to bring it to the full council, but in subcommittee they passed something where they raised it to 32 degrees, but still,
right?
Migrants, these illegal immigrants, are taking up all the shelter space. They're taking up all the resources, and these crackers is going out of their way to make sure that they have everything they need, and they want us to feel sorry for them. But we got our people out here dying, starving, freezing to death.
Right.
Years, and we do a little memorial every year talking about we will remember, but we're not gonna do shit about it.
Right. Yeah, and then I do know, man, that there was one. Get this, there was one homeless shelter up there in Oakland. Okay, and the people come in and they'll make you take a shower, which is fine. But get a load of this. They want you to go in there and shower with another man.
Oh my god. Well, shit, that Jesus said straight up like dorm type setting, and you're in there with like 20 other dudes showering. If you get upstairs to the bed, you gotta take a shower. So, yeah, it's like fucking being in jail.
Yeah, you know, that's just what I was about to say. So they want you to shower like you in jail. Yeah, well, don't pick up no soap.
Oh my god, this is horrible. So, it's like a minute left of this video.
All right. Okay.
To everybody else, like it's candy, right? But they're not helping the American citizens that actually need it. You know, need a place to stay. People who are sleeping on the streets or in their cars or somewhere else. They're not getting the help. The Biden administration is helping everybody else but, right? So our tax dollars are not helping people that it should help. It's helping other people who, for whatever reason, whatever they got going on in their country, whether it's a war or they're coming over here because they are fleeing political persecution or they're trying to, get a better opportunity. It's not fair, right? So that's something that we should think about when they ask us. When I say they, I mean the Democrats ask us to go to the polls and continue to vote for more of nothing, especially from a Black point of view. Ask ourselves why. Our people are the most homeless here in the United States, and they're not getting help. They're actually getting stepped over, if you will, so that the migrants can get the help. So that's just something to think about when you go to the polls, especially in 2024, when Joe Biden is going to be going up probably against Trump. I don't know. That's what they say now. And then him and Kamala and all of their other people are going to come to the churches and have the fish fries and all those other things and ask you to do it once again, right? Save democracy once again. Black people, we need y'all to save the soul of the country. They're going to ask you to do that again, but I want y'all to remember that it's mostly us that are sleeping on those streets or in those shelters or in our homes. Right?
Well, Sister Shabaka's Black Experience in Henson Frontline Black News been saying that for the last 3 fucking years.
Yep. At least that, yep. Okay, we got some comments about it. Let me get to the comments. Twin, shout out to Twin. Thank you for staying up late with us, Twin. It said we need federal rent control. I wholeheartedly agree.
Now, there you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, federal rent control. And then on top of that, not only do we need my rent jumped $350 a month since COVID. Oh man. Not including inflation on the bills. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got a point on that. So what it is that what they need to do, man, is start taking these fucking migrants, man, putting these motherfuckers in buses, man, and taking their asses right there to the fucking border, man, and throwing them the fuck back over there, man. That's what the fuck they need to do.
Flying them back like they did the Haitians.
Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying? Is because at this point, this is even a more reason for us to get our damn reparations. You see what I'm saying? So we could develop our 4 fucking factors of production: land, labor, capital, risk management for ourselves. Because this here, Brother Che, has proved our point right there that this all-inclusive shit is bullshit. It's an illusion.
Yep.
See, they want us. See, what the United States wants to do is go out there and help all these other motherfuckers at our expense. Once again, we're expendable. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's what
and then the cold part about it is, man, is that you have black veterans fighting every war. Ever since there's been a
we
United States
country has ever had.
Yeah, and conflicts, you know what I'm saying? And then the cold part about it is, man, and you all get mad at us because we're not all inclusive. You all get mad at us because we don't believe in your illusion of inclusion, because we see through the bullshit of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Taraji, with Miss Henson described what the hell she's going through, what Monique went through, then a whole lot of our black actresses had went through.
Mm-hmm.
Up there ghetto gagging to get auditions. You know what I'm saying? And they're still paying you. Lord and shit.
I think she said she only got
that raggedy.
It was either her or Terrence Howard. They only got $5,000 from Hustle and Flow.
Mm-hmm.
That movie made millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. You only get $5,000 out of it.
Yeah, it's sick, and Los Angeles is a mess. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm so glad I'm far away from it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wrap up here, my family. I think Lady Che completely slept out this whole show. So hopefully she'll be on part 3. Keep Lady Che in your thoughts and prayers. Her health is
right. Of course.
Thank you for staying up late with me to do this. And,
right. Yeah.
Come at us with that Merry Christmas shit, because we don't do that shit here. We don't do that here.
So. That's right. Yeah, everybody's Scrooge around here.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then and then for those of you, and then let me say this, and then for those, who are going to be with your families tomorrow and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Talk about some black economics. Talk about building up the community, you know what I'm saying? Talk about, not killing each other and not turning on each other. You know what I mean? Definitely check out the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Get well. Okay, Twin says get well soon, Lady Che. Okay, Twin. And then too, and then of course, enjoy your family and what have you. But one thing, black family, we got to realize we are in a state of emergency. Okay, and they are out to kill us. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Twin. Yeah. Yeah. Twin said not doing the Christmas thing. You know what I'm saying?
We
And
don't
then,
have that area here.
yeah, and then too, keep in mind is that the U.S. economy, 40% of its income does come up off of that, at Christmas. So keep that there in mind. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind for economical power. You see what I mean? And then on top of it too, then of course, folks, you do know, 7 days from now, it's going to be 2024. Definitely check out the laws in your state or your region of where you're at. Get up on them, is because you don't want to be caught off guard. And here comes the race soldiers, Gestapo coming up to you.
And that's going to be in all different kind of laws in different states. So
right. So review them, and at the federal level too. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, therefore, black people, you know what I'm saying, keep your head on a swivel, be aware and what you're trying to do for the next year. Wish you success, and also too, we all need you all to hit this Cash App over here and PayPal over here, for Frontline Black News. You see, because we're trying to eat too. We don't mind, nobody coming up there to our groups and what have you, dropping the knowledge and all that. But if you're going to do some type of solicitation of what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, you got to break us off first, okay? And we don't mind announcing for you. We don't mind helping you. You see what I mean? It's because a couple of you groups out there, this is Shabaka saying, Corey saying this, a couple of you groups out there, y'all know who you are, okay? Is that I will post up, public service information on what we're doing, and you all sit up and say, well, yours has been declined. So do me a favor, if you have that, and if I'm in your group,
They do the Frontline Black News the same way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay, so what it is? Yeah, exactly. You see, so therefore, we're going to start taking notes of who declined our post, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to block you, and we're going to leave your group as well too, and you will not be permitted to post up in our groups. You see, because we don't have those restrictions in our groups. Shabaka's Black Experience, Resurrection of the Mental Dead. You know what I'm saying? We don't have those restrictions. You see. And if you out here trying to make you some money, we ain't mad at you, man, but you all got to break some bread with us, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, we digging in our pockets, with this here doing this. And, and flowing and having economical power and trading amongst ourselves, that ain't no problem. But, as soon as this white person going out there braiding up our black woman's hair in African braids, you all want to sit up there and go give her some business. Something's wrong with that. Something is wrong with that. See, that violates the law of economics for self-preservation right there. But like I said, we only been out of slavery 150 years. We still got a long way to go. You see?
Yeah, so for part 3, sometime tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Okay, and everybody ought to be full and good and drunk and stuff like that, or tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot, so get with us tomorrow, on Frontline Black News, you know what I mean, and whatnot.
Black News tomorrow, or the RBA, or both, so we'll see.
Right.
In the meantime, make sure you like to subscribe to all of our platforms, Frontline Black News, which is being struck. We see the strike, so we should be getting it back sometime this week, hopefully.
Okay.
Be able to stream on the channel again and get that episode back that they try to take down. And
right.
The agenda, like and subscribe to it as well. Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Facebook and the Twitter X. And
right.
Of course, the Arena Uncensored, who allows us to broadcast.
Right. Yeah, so definitely a shout out there to them.
And MD20. Shout out to MD. So,
Right.
and also, what's cracking with Jay Militant?
Good. Yeah, well, his 49ers, man, you know what I'm saying? It looked like, man, that they are a significant force to reckon with, you know what I'm saying? You know, the ponies, they went into the farm.
Here you go with the bull crap, Sparky. You better hope you beat the police tomorrow.
Yeah. The Raiders need, to win every game, to get half a chance at a playoff spot, on the wild card. And then keep in mind,
we'll talk about the playoffs.
And then too, but just keep in mind, Brother Che, is that the Pony Express and the Raiders got a date, man, for the last game of regular season, man.
Yeah.
Y'all got to come out here.
Yep, and it's gonna be broncoed up.
Yeah, man, I have seen some of that orange contamination out here, man. That ain't cool, man.
You gonna see all
kinds.
But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. We will see y'all on part 3, if not the RBA. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment.
Always.
Peace.
All right. Always. Okay. I'm out. Okay.